everyone. Thank you for joining us. Hope everyone is staying safe. We'll begin our open session this evening by asking for the approval of the agenda. Any additions or deletions? Any disclosures of interest this evening? We have one Councilor McGrath with authorization of property write-off. Are there any others? We have no delegations this evening. And so resolution number 16-21, moved by Councillor Stafuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that the minutes of the council and committee of the whole meeting held January 19th, 2021 be accepted as circulated. All those in favor? There. Resolution number 17-21, moved by Councillor Mullins, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that council authorize the write-off of property taxes in the amount of $14,298.85 for the following accounts. Roll number 585 10000020580, 585 100021250, 585 10000332900, 585 10000020580, 585 100000215 212500, 581 10000306600, 585 10000332900, 585 10000306600, 585 10000213300, 585 10000032850, 585 10000328600, 585 100000334 100, 585 100000334 104, 585 100000334 000, 585 10000205800, that we approve the write-offs of these properties in the amount of $14,298.85. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Did you call the pecuniary interest of the first clue?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Resolution number 18-21, moved by Councillor Stafuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that council authorize the write-off of property taxes in the amount of $15,304.18 for the following account: 585-100,001-12500. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 19-21, moved by Councillor Mullen, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that council extend the current contract with Ultramart for the supply of furnace oil and dyed diesel fuel to December 31, 2021 at a price of 4.0 cents per liter above the rack price plus applicable taxes. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 20-21, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Stafuric, that council authorized the purchase of the 2007 American LaFrance rescue pumper from Fort Garry Fire Trucks Limited in the amount of $100,000, excluding applicable taxes. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 21-21, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Mullins, that council approve the expenditure request and approval to proceed from the Ontario Clean Water Agency for the Schreiber Water Treatment Plant flow meter project in the amount of $79,276.77, including applicable taxes. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 22-21, moved by Councillor Stafuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that the Council of the Township of Schreiber support the resolution of the municipality of Charlton and Dock requesting the province of Ontario address municipal insurance costs. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 23-21, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Stafuric, that bank debits paid out of the general bank account in the month of November 2020 in the amount of $38,636.58, and in the month of December 2020 in the amount of $35,233.37 be approved and ratified. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 24-21, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Mullins. That checks issued on the general bank account in the month of January 2021 excuse me, in the amount of $675,128.11 for general accounts payable be approved and ratified. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you.
I assume payroll is in addition to that last figure?
No, that was separate, I believe. Zero.
That would be a separate figure, that's what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
This is the next one. Resolution number 25-21, moved by Councillor Staffier, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that bank debits issued on the general bank account in the month of January 2021 in the amount of $49,266.71 for payroll be approved and ratified. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 26-21, moved by Councillor Staffier, seconded by Councillor Mullins, that bylaw 2-2021, being a bylaw to constitute and appoint a committee of adjustment in the Township of Schreiber, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 27-21, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Staffier, that bylaw 3-2021, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 4-2019, the execution of a tax arrears extension agreement pursuant to section 378 of the Municipal Act 2001, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. All those in favor? Thank you. Carried. That brings to a close the council portion of this evening's meeting. We'll move into committee of the whole. Department reports and committee reports. We'll start off with the CAO clerk report. The 2021 asset management plan.
Okay, and we have the recommendation to authorize the mayor and myself to accept the proposal forwarded by Public Sector Digest to prepare an asset management plan compliant with Ontario Regulation 588-17 in the amount of $46,900 excluding applicable taxes. You know, originally the township was hoping to get the entire cost for this asset management requirements covered through the FCM's Municipal Asset Management Program. However, they've had really high demand. Again, a lot of municipalities are trying to get compliant by this July 1st deadline. And just a number where we're currently at is way down on the list, and we're expecting to be evaluated probably by November or December, and that's going to be well past the deadline. The way that these grants work, they're not going to cover us for funding after the fact. You know, you can only start spending after you've been approved for the grant. And also there's just the fact that there's no guarantee that we will even get this grant. So we did put aside money in budget this last year for this. It was about 70 grand. What we've done now is we've slimmed down the requirements for a Public Sector Digest to just cover only the base requirements for us to be whatever, just base in order to be compliant by July 1st. And they're going to try to work on this to get this done as soon as possible. And we've used them in the past. They've helped us with our 2013 asset management plan. They provide software that we use citywide, and that's why it just makes a lot of sense to source this through Public Sector Digest rather than any other party.
Will that FCM grant cover these other two stages?
Yes, you know, that's actually a good point there. What we were told is that the grant has enough flexibility to be used to cover the 2023 requirements. So hopefully, you know, we'll be able to use this to cover 2023, and we'll be absolutely ready for it when that regulation's due.
Thank you, Nathan. Any other questions? We'll move on to the treasurer report, council expense and remuneration. Any questions on that?
Just with the old resolution, everyone is fine to go ahead with that. Contract, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Yeah, everybody okay to go ahead with that contract for,
Yep, I'm good.
Yes, sir.
all in favor? Thank you very much. Okay, treasurer report, council expense and remuneration report. Any questions on that? Pretty much an annual update that the treasurer gives us. So next is the 2021 allowance for doubtful accounts. Any questions on that? Then number 4, the treasurer report transfers from reserves per budget BL 35-2020. Any questions on that?
Number of recommendations here. The council transferred to the library donations and fundraising reserve $2,885, which represents fundraising and donation revenues in 2020. Council transferred to the fire truck reserve $10,000 as budgeted in bylaw 35-2020. That council transferred to the fire equipment reserve $1,000 is budgeted in bylaw 35-2020. And that council transfer from the library donations and fundraising reserve $2,900 is budgeted in bylaw 35-2020.
Any objections? Everybody fine with that? Thank you. Next up, Director of Operations report. Status update. Any questions for our director here this evening?
I have one on staff training. Is this in-house training?
Yeah, the trainer can come here to do this.
Okay, this is something that goes on every year?
Not every year. We didn't do much training last year because of COVID.
Okay, so this is just getting everybody updated.
Depending on how things go along, it may get changed. For now, I'm getting prices to be ready.
Okay.
That exterior wall up at the rec center, Red, are you gonna get a local price from, I can't remember the guy's name, but he does the masonry work. He did my little thing there on the side of the house.
Yes, I tried to get him to do some work for us here on the back steps here, and he doesn't have WSIB clearance, and says he's not going to get it.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Red. Next one up is the Director of Operations report on the snow gate.
So I had a number of residents send in emails to administration regarding the snow gate and promised that we'd look into that. And I know a number of councillors did come and talk with us, so I had the Director of Operations look into this and call neighboring communities that have it in order to get their feedback. The recommendation here from the Director of Operations is that council does not purchase a snow gate at the cost of $15,000. And really, part of that feedback was due to the grader and snow plow clearing snow in different routes. Thus, with snow gate, the grader would have to clear the entire town for the entire town to have the benefit of the snow gate. Adding the snow gate with graders to the current route would add 4 hours to the grader's route, doubling the time it currently takes to clear snow. Changing routes so that the grader does the whole town will add an additional 8 to 14 hours depending on the severity of the snowstorm. That was part of his feedback. Let Red answer any other questions you have pertaining to this.
The film I saw on TV, I guess, it appeared to me the snow gate was on the snowplow, but it has to go on the grader?
They're made for the end of the moldboard. They're not designed to be put on a wing.
On a
Pretty much they're
snowplow.
made for, you can get them for a loader bucket,
Right.
but they're pretty much designed just for the moldboards of graders. And
Okay.
they work well in communities that have spacing, driveways spaced, like, where their houses are spaced quite a bit more rural areas.
Right.
They may work better at that in them places, but for our place, it would not be feasible.
Is there one any closer than Ignace at the moment?
There's one in Marathon in storage. They got it, used it for a little while, put it away.
Oh, really?
I have difference of opinions from management and from the workers down there, so
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Any other questions on that then? Thanks, Red. The next one up is loader tires.
The recommendation here to purchase 4 Snow Plus radial tires from Fountain Tire for the cost of $9,748.51, including tax.
Any questions on that?
How
Well, I mean, obviously we have to do this. How long is this loader gonna last?
Well, that leads me to another question. I have another request for a little bit more work that needs to be done on that machine for 5,500 approximately. We're hoping we can get maybe 6 months out of it while we make arrangements to purchase a new one.
Where were those tires being put on?
They were put on at the shop. In our shop, they brought them from Marathon.
Okay.
So, in the last month, we've put over 30 grand into this machine with the last bill, right? The last one was what, 19,000-ish?
Yeah,
How much do you think it's worth?
that was back in the summer.
Was that in the summer we did that?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, still
It's,
good.
how much we could get for it in the trade-in.
Like, are we just losing our shirts?
We're not gonna get money back, if
No.
that's what you're asking.
Okay.
But if we rent one now for 3 months, it's likely it'll cost about 6,000 or more, and then just get it transported here, it'll cost some.
Mhm.
But
So we're looking at,
we just wanna extend the process so we can look into getting one that is safe to operate around the town instead of just buying one in a hurry.
so are we looking at buying a new one after that, or leasing, or?
We're gonna explore both options.
We're currently discussing that and trying to expedite this as soon as possible, just because, again, of these costs that keep reoccurring for this loader. We certainly, don't want to see any more significant cost to this asset that's very much at the end of its life expectancy. Part of this is to look at all options from leasing to financing. Recently came across some purchasing options where we could get quite a significant deal. We'll have to call and get a quote and see how that works out. But we'll be putting everything on paper and suggesting again the best price to council.
Yeah, we certainly have spent a lot of money in the last 6 months, and it's getting to the point where we have to make a move on something because.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions on that? All right, next up is the ice plant compressor motor.
Here you have a recommendation from the Director of Operations. The council, the Township of Schreiber approves the hiring of Simcoe Refrigeration to replace the compressor motor, contactor, overload, and new fuses with a shutdown on a shared trip, including all the labor, travel, and truck charges from this past service at $8,498.09, excluding taxes. Of course, there's some options when it comes to the pricing here. If council doesn't want to necessarily shut down with this resolution, pricing is available there to have Simcoe come to do the service without the shutdown. But in order to have the arena properly running again, we'll have to have this work done.
So how soon can they get this work done?
Red, do you want to answer
Well, on
that?
a shared trip, they were telling me it'd be a week or two. They do a mid-season checkup of everybody else's, well, all the plants that they look after. So within a week or two, and
So
the
this,
plant's running right now. If we come out of lockdown and are able to have people use the ice surface, we can make arrangements to get by with less flooding, some dry floods until we get this motor repaired. But they should be able to be here within 2 weeks if we get an okay on whichever option you people decide here.
so are we okay to make a decision on this when we know what color code we're gonna go into?
If that was to be Tuesday,
Yeah.
I believe we'll be okay till then to make a decision. I can phone and check with them tomorrow. They're already ordered the parts and all they need is okay.
Yeah, well, it's gotta be fixed one way or the other, but
So you're saying it doesn't have to be repaired right away, you can operate without it,
Well, we can maintain our ice as long as there's nobody using it. right
as long
now.
as no one's using it.
But once we start having people using it, we will not be able to do as many floods as we usually do, just to maintain the ice surface. We can make it work for a week or so if we need to, but should get it different fix. It all depends on the announcement on Tuesday.
Right.
I mean, can we not just tell them, come to repair this, and when you're here, we're either gonna tell you to shut it down or just repair it? Like, do they need to know what they're doing before they come?
I think they're a little bit flexible in which option.
Yeah, so no matter what, we have to fix this thing.
That's right.
So you just tell them, come fix this thing. And if we get bad news next week, then it's gonna be, hey, while you're here, can you do that?
or tell them not to show up before Tuesday if that's the way we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
'Cause we don't know what.
Yeah,
quote
well,
we're
he
gonna
said it'd
get.
be, you said it would be at least a week or 2 weeks before they show up,
away right now.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so we'll know,
No more on Tuesday.
we'll
Yeah.
know which way we're going
To
Tuesday.
give them notification at that point.
Right,
say,
Okay, so we'll give it another week.
right.
Make a decision.
yeah, but in the meantime, you tell them that we need this repaired.
Yeah, they already,
Yeah, so I mean,
they have the parts on order.
coming no matter what.
Alrighty. Next one up, update on the downtown revitalization project and Schreiber mural.
So the tender for the Schreiber Downtown Revitalization Project has been issued as of Friday, February 5th, and it will be closing on Wednesday, March 3rd. First, we attached the whole tender drawings and documents there. We'll take a look. And in terms of the murals project, the CD department has begun advertising for art submissions for the Schreiber murals project. And email submissions should be sent to info@schreiber.ca by April 30th at 4 p.m. We're aiming to get at least 10 murals representing local Schreiber artwork. And we'll be replicating that artwork onto aluminum die bond, so sort of immortalizing the artist's work. And we'll be looking at putting them up around town through various locations in the community.
It's, you said local?
Yes, in terms of what do you say, submissions, we're not going to be, what do you say, rejecting anything right away. I think we're welcoming all the submissions we can. I think when it comes to choosing what we can, that's going to be next step in this project. Ultimately, there's 10 slots that we can currently fill, so that's part of it.
Well, how do you determine or all these various locations, like one sign could be much larger than another, or how does that all figure in the homework?
The signs are all going to be 4 feet by 6 feet, so that's kind of the aspect ratio that we've recommended for people's submissions to fall within that. And in terms of locations, what we would be doing is likely putting out a call for interest in the local communities to see which businesses may be interested in doing it. We may reach out to specific businesses in order to do that. Well, you look like you have a question.
Who, me? Well, no, it's just that you came, I thought you came across that it was just open to local artists, where it's not just open to local artists. It's open to, it's a North Shore
Yes.
project, like Dom said, and
Yep.
one of the things that we were pushing, I was really pushing, was it was open to past
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Schreiber residents, because there's a heck of a lot of them out there that definitely know how to put a good picture up.
Absolutely. That's a
And,
good point.
No,
So
I
the
just didn't want
applicants-
it to.
Right.
I just didn't want it to.
Yep.
It's not just a local.
Just local,
It's
yep. Yep, one of the applicants we got was indeed someone who used to live here and has since traveled outside. And, you know, and that's the thing, is the bottom line is, I think we want to see artwork that really showcases the talent of those who love Schreiber, you know, and love the North Shore, love Lake Superior. So as long as there's that connection to that connection to local, that's what will be important.
Right, we had one local resident, they're pretty excited about it. What a great way to give back. Like, they haven't lived here for 35 years, and they thought, what a great way to give back to the community that I still call home.
Yep.
So, you know, and Dom's and I don't think we're gonna quit it. I don't think he'll quit at that too. I think it's gonna be a North Shore project.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Very good. Anything else on that?
No, looks good.
Yeah. Next up is the bylaw enforcement report.
So this was just a quick fix we need, and the recommendation here is for council to repeal and replace the feeding of wildlife bylaw 37/2020 with the corrected version attached. The situation was just with the line there. Whenever we approve any sort of bylaw which has penalties and fees associated with it, we need it to be approved by the local courts, and they provide their feedback. In this case, they had an issue with the original section 4.2 under penalties, which said any person convicted of an offense created by this bylaw is subject to the penalties prescribed by the Provincial Offences Act. They just want that amended to the wording you see in the report. Once we do that, we just discussed it would be far cleaner to have a clean report that doesn't have any bylaw, doesn't have any amendments. That's why we wanted to repeal the old one and put forward the new one here.
Sounds good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody fine with that? Next up, Schreiber Public Library Board meeting minutes. Any questions on that?
So I just a question on the intern. So that's not open for applications this year? Just reading the minutes, a grant for NOHFC intern is not open for applications.
Donna, do you want to answer that?
It's, at this time, it's not available, but it will be in the near future.
Like in the future in 2021? or-
Yes, it's,
Okay, because I see it later on. Okay.
I imagine that after the March 31st, they'll be renewing all of that. They're
Okay.
examining it right now.
Thanks, Donna. Fire Department activity report. Any questions for the chief?
I have one on your wilderness call out.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see what the details were. Is that something you can share? Or?
Yeah, it's a pretty simple one as far as trips on the Skidoo goes. It was to rescue a Bell radio technician up the Tower Road who managed to get himself stuck up there really in a bad spot, and we went up there to get him and his gear out.
Okay.
Was he in a vehicle, Jen?
No, he was using a quad runner with tracks on it,
Oh.
and it became buried.
So they're not as good as they say they are.
No.
He was all right though, everything was fine?
He was all right though, just a little cold from trying to dig himself out.
Yeah.
I lost my page. Your auto extrication course.
Yes.
It looks like you're gonna have it at the Rossport dump. Is there any reason for that? Like, Any specific?
It was offered to us by the operator who already has 10 cars there, which is great. Terrace Bay, unfortunately, they hauled everything away already.
Okay.
So we've already got 10 there, plus several at the fire hall waiting to go out. So
Perfect.
perfect spot, they're gonna let us do it.
Right on. Perfect.
Very good. Next up, the Rossport report. Chief, would you like to comment on it?
Sure, this is just to answer a few questions that came up at the last meeting. So hopefully I've answered those there. I know Nathan and I have been working on the draft of the bylaw and trying to come up with some numbers. We're hoping to have something for you for the next meeting. It is a difficult thing to try to figure out when you're dealing with an unorganized area. So there's not a lot of numbers to go find and crunch. So I spent the weekend out in Rossport there taking an inventory of buildings and occupancies, and we're hoping to have some firm numbers for you coming up at the next meeting.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
And I think the next one's a pretty important one. Closure of the Ontario Fire College. Chief, would you like to?
Yeah, this is this could be a very important one for us. I think you can see the cost breakdown there of what would happen if we had to send a person to a course at a regional training center, which is what the province is suggesting we move to. The really big danger is if you go back 2 years ago, we spent a lot of time lobbying at AMO to get rid of the mandatory certification of firefighters legislation. If they were to bring that back now, it would cost us $50,000 per volunteer to train them fully. So the danger here is that this is a downloading of costs on the municipality as far as operating the fire college goes. They're going to move it to an oversight body, but not a delivery agent. So the danger here is that we would be on the hook for either sending people away to a training center, or that we would have to spend a lot of time with neighboring municipalities coming up with our own training center. So the danger here is that this could drive the costs through the roof.
Thinking communications, there's some resolutions that we'll have to support, and I'd like to put a letter of our own letter in to put a stop to the closing of the fire college. That's crazy.
I agree.
So what, for instance, Jan, would the city of Thunder Bay be planning to do? Does that affect
city-
them or not?
It doesn't really affect them. They have their own training center, which they operate themselves for their own full-time staff.
Right.
They don't
There's no potential there for,
they don't really teach to outside agencies
Right.
because of the additional liability and just the time.
Yeah.
There is an opportunity to rent that training facility from them. The trouble with doing that is you've got to pay the city, you've got to pay their staff to man it and watch you do everything. And that's that overtime because their guys are full-time. And then you have to have all your volunteers, or at least half of them, able to leave town for a weekend, which makes it pretty difficult to staff a fire department here when they're all in Thunder Bay. So there is a talk that the province is going to buy these 2 trailers and continue on with coming out to communities to put on this training. My only comment is they tried that years ago. It did not work. 2 trailers divided by 440 fire departments in the province of Ontario. Well, you can do the math pretty quick and figure out how many weekends a year you're going to see that trailer. So it's, I think that it's not going to work.
If Thunder Bay became a regional training center, would that help?
It could. I know they have talked to the fire college, and Thunder Bay right now is leaning towards rejecting that offer from the fire college. There were some meetings that I sat in earlier today with the Ontario Association of Fire Chiefs, and it's looking like they want to push on adding some training staff into the Thunder Bay Fire Marshal's office on Mount Vale Avenue, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to secure the Thunder Bay Training Center.
The smaller communities, like, how do they utilize, or how was the Ontario Fire College campus in Gravenhurst utilized?
There's a
Like the fact that they're closing it, but what
Yeah.
exactly are they eliminating? I guess that's what I'm saying.
what they're eliminating is a very large campus. I think it's 125, over 125 acres, 26, 27 buildings, plus numerous training grounds. There's an upper training ground, you go there, it's a train wreck. And it's 5 or 6 tanker cars smashed up and put on the ground with propane props to make it look like there's been a train accident. For instance, last 2 years ago, we loaded up a couple trucks, we drove down there with foam trailers, and I put 6 of us through that course down there. So what we're losing is that training area.
Right.
You know, I can talk about a train wreck on a Tuesday night all I want,
Yeah.
but I can't simulate that anywhere in town, having 6 wrecked tank cars on the ground and lighting them on fire.
I get you, yeah.
So for every course they offer, there is a
That's-
training area like that,
That's one sample of what,
what you would lose.
right.
And there's similar examples for all courses. There's houses they've lit on fire that simulate a house fire. You have to go in and determine what caused the fire.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just can't simulate that.
And that facility was basically just one of a kind in Ontario?
In Ontario, yeah.
And
They do have little training centers, like that are run by private colleges or groups of municipalities, where they might have a hose tower or a burn tower, but nothing of the scale that is located at Gravenhurst.
stupid.
So I guess we have to do some lobbying on behalf of the township and other townships. We'll get together and certainly try and curtail this decision, if at all possible. Thank you for that, Chief.
Thank you.
OPP quarterly reports. First, second, third, and fourth. Any questions on those? Next up, we have the Aqua reports. Wastewater dechlorinization quarterly reports, wastewater monthly report. Are there any questions on any of those? All right, and question period. Are there any questions? Have we had any online? No? And we'll go into communications. Anything you would like to touch on? Number 4, North Shore Harvest covered. Thank you, Card. Now we get into
So you talked about lobbying against the
closure.
the closure, so there's a couple of
Yeah.
requests for resolution for support. Now, how do we support them and
One of our own.
do one of our own?
For instance, Terrace Bay recently had sent the support for the Township of Augusta. So they used theirs, and reiterated that in the resolution using the same, whereas
Okay.
clauses and everything. But pretty much use that as their template.
Good.
We could similarly do the same if everyone is fine with Augusta.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
sure we, yes.
Where is Augusta?
Number 14. Oh, there. Oh, you meant on the list.
Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's a golfer, he would know.
It is in Simcoe
That's the
County.
Masters, isn't it?
Simcoe County?
Okay, so now we are at, COVID-19 provincial emergency declaration.
Right, so we're waiting to figure out what color we're gonna be in come Tuesday. And part of the main question here is how comfortable council feels with essentially reopening everything according to the restrictions at a specific color level. What are your thoughts on that? Prior to going into the lockdown, we had reopened everything. We had reopened Ryder Fitness Center. We were having our aerobics restarted. Quilting room was planned to reopen. So what are your thoughts come Tuesday? Are we ready to reopen things to the level specified in the color level that we ultimately find out we're in?
Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
As long as the color code, allows us to do that, I certainly, I guess we have no choice, let's go ahead and do it.
What are the possibilities Tuesday exactly? Like,
Could be a million yet, Doug. They're gonna, it could go south in Thunder Bay before now and then, and they might not reopen our section at all, but we have to, you have to wait and see, unfortunately.
I don't think we will be in the gray.
Mhm.
So that means certain things can open
Right.
under red and orange.
Actually, they're saying 25% can open in the gray as long as the order of the lockdown is removed. And that's supposed to be removed next Tuesday.
But when you
Well, that's
say
about-
25%, you're not saying, well, we can open this up,
No
we can open
capacity.
that up,
Well, there's
or
gonna be,
25% of whatever we want.
there-
Like,
no, 25% of
Capacity limit.
capacity or whatever.
well, that's what you're talking about. Okay,
Yeah.
capacity, that's different.
Yeah, we kinda gotta wait to see what the color is, but yeah, I'm all for doing what we can under the color.
Yeah.
When things were open and got reopened there, what was their percentage number at that time?
On certain things, for sure, yeah. You can, on some depend what color it is,
Or a
you can only have
particular, just,
25% people in restaurants, 50% people in restaurants, capacity.
Indoors and outdoors, there was certain amounts
Yeah.
there.
or a particular number of people can be in this.
And that's kind of what the color code's all about.
We have all the plans in place. I mean, I think you're ready to go.
Exactly.
They're all well written and
Pretty
they're
much,
done.
yes. We just need to find out for sure what we
Fingers
can
crossed.
do, and
Yep.
if everybody's in agreement, if we can open certain things, let's go ahead and do it.
I mean, number one thing for us to reopen was just getting those waivers and getting plans in place, and you're right, all of that is already done.
Yeah.
So, we're good to go.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we can do it, and hopefully that'll be the end of it.
All righty, we'll move on to other business, the preliminary budget.
First one is the library.
So that was my question on the intern, Donna, was because you had it in here.
Yes.
But you're saying that,
It's delayed, the application process is being delayed right now.
You just wanted to show
Yes,
council this?
yes, and,
Anything else, or?
no, I'll go into, I'll just work on that.
Let me know when you're done, and I'll get this streamed up.
All right, okay, great, thanks.
And Donna, I would ask if you could try and keep it to 10 minutes, please.
Yes, I just have just a 3-minute video I wanted to
Okay,
share.
fine, thank you very much.
So anyways, good evening, Mayor Hamilton and councillors. Thank you for the opportunity for me to discuss the library budget this year. It's been a challenging year for everyone, but despite the challenges, there are always new opportunities, and the library board and staff are constantly exploring ways to provide services and programs to meet the needs of the community. And this year is no exception, because the library is also celebrating its 130th anniversary. So I would like to show you just a quick 3-minute video of the library, which is posted on the National Com Media portal. And this video was produced by Kim Krause, who's the journalist for the LJ project, or Local Journalist Initiative project, and is employed with the Schreiber Media Center. So the library is in partnership with Cactus, or the Canadian Association of Television Users, to explore the development of media literacy through the creation and distribution of stories which have civic and community interest. So as a result of this pilot project, a new Schreiber Media Center became incorporated and now receives funding through Cactus for the journalists. And we also created the media studio in the library to help produce stories such as community connections, and it will eventually help to train volunteers. So Kim has produced over 30 stories on a wide variety of topics. There's podcasts, and stories are now being published in the Terrace-based Schreiber News. And it's anticipated that Canada will continue to fund these projects across the country. And recently there was a meeting with the Honourable Patty Haidu to discuss the project and the importance of community television, libraries, museums, in the recording and archiving of local community issues and events. At the moment, the Canadian Broadcasting Act is presently under review. So this is the portal, and there are stations all across the country. And go into Ontario, and Schreiber. I'm not sure if any of you have seen this. And these are some of the stories that have been presented. I just wanted to show you this one here. This library reopens. Oops.
Williamson. I'm the assistant librarian at the Schreiber Public Library. Until recently, the library had been closed because of the COVID pandemic. Since the government has lifted restrictions and we have moved on to phase 3, the library is now open. This allows us to have 3 people in the building at one time. When you enter the building, make sure that you're wearing a mask and that you use the hand sanitizer that's located at the door. If you do not have a mask, we have some masks that are available for purchase. Unfortunately, at this time, public washrooms are not available. Computer use is still available, but you will need to call to make an appointment. The public computers have been wiped down after each use with disinfectant, the keyboards, the mouse, and the chairs. If you're interested in a book that we do not have in the library, we are able to order it through interlibrary loans. Interlibrary loans is a service where we provide books to other libraries and they provide books to us. If you're looking for a specific book, just let us know and we'll try and order it in for you. Another service we offer is faxing and printing. If you have something that you need printed, just email it to the library and we'll have it ready for you. You can feel safe when you take a book out because the books have been disinfected. Any books that are returned are put into the book drop-off and it's left in the bag for at least 72 hours. And then when they take it out of the bag, they are wiped down with a disinfectant. When you're looking on the shelves for a book and you pick one that you decided that you don't want, we ask that you put it into a blue bin and we will disinfect them and put them back on the shelf again. We have a children's area in the back. At this time, we are going to accept bookings of a family once a week. And this way we'll be able to disinfect the toys and the books so that another family can come in the following week. Children are not allowed to come in and game on the computers. Hopefully in the future that will change. The library is open Tuesday through Friday from 1 till 5. At this time there is no night or weekend hours. Quite a few programs at the library have been canceled until further notice. Some programs have been modified and are now going to be done digitally. The Facebook page is called Schreiber Public Library, and we post photographs, upcoming events that we're able to host, quizzes, and just some fun facts. Due to the pandemic, we are not able to take book donations at this time. The Schreiber Public Library tries to partner with as many community organizations as we can. Unfortunately, due to this pandemic, many things have been canceled, like Heritage Day, the Quilt Show, and many other things. We were very happy to help the Senior Center and their Helping Hands campers. The Schreiber Public Library is dedicated to protecting our community's health. We have installed plexiglass partitions and other safety measures. We look forward to seeing you back at the library again soon.
I just wanted to share that with you because this was done last year, but here we are again, and it kind of feels a little bit like that Groundhog movie. It's repeating itself again. So I just wanted to also talk a little bit about our statistics. Of course, they've declined in the areas of circulation, our visits, of course, our programming, fundraising events. And the total annualized use dropped by about 19%. And the interesting thing is that we've noticed an increase in patrons from 533 to 639, and there were over 1 million views on Facebook last year through our library website, our Facebook. We've developed new programs and partnerships, such as our curbside service, children's book bags, reading programs, craft kits, Zoom, book club, garden meetings, Facebook activities, and contests. And of course, we partnered with the Senior Center to help with grants, with their grant programs, seed distribution, the expansion of boxes in the community garden, and of course the good cheer bags where the library donated books. We also received $7,000 from United Way to loan 12 iPads to people who are isolated due to lack of technology in our community. And we're also going to be loaning out iPads for the New Horizons for Seniors project this year. And we recently received $8,000 grant from the Thunder Bay Community Foundation Emergency Fund to distribute about 200 family activity bags. And these are going to include books, DVDs, crafts, kits from Science North. And this is an opportunity to help local businesses, supporting them through having them print us bags, provide snacks, and a local artist will provide online art and craft sessions. So we've really worked hard at trying to come up with new ideas to work with the community and provide services, despite the fact that we have all these challenges to deal with. So as far as our budget is concerned, we're asking for an increase to cover additional audit costs and WSIB costs, and other staff costs have been absorbed into the budget as travel and conference costs have decreased. And the board is making a request to council to assist with benefit costs for an NOHF intern this fall. And this would be about a 2.5% increase over 2 years, which would cost about $5,000. And the library will subsidize the remaining 50% of the benefits through a reserve fund. So the library has had several interns over the years, And they're always a great benefit to help with projects such as digitizing the archives, library backlog, reaccreditation, and marketing, which is ongoing. And so the library is continuing to evolve and be innovative in meeting the new challenges ahead for our community. So, do you have any questions?
Not any questions, Donna, but just a couple of comments. You certainly do a wonderful job for the community. Only good things I've ever heard about the library and the programs, and just keep up the good work. Thank you very much for your efforts.
Thanks, Donna. Thank you, Donna.
Okay. Is that within 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I guess next up is council appointments for,
We still have the,
oh, I'm sorry,
Fire department.
fire department. Yeah. Alrighty. Any questions for Jan? Anything you want to touch on? Increase. And capital budget. Questions on that? Alrighty, then I guess we can go into council appointments. Does anyone, would anyone like to change or have any input on what you might like to do? Or is everything fine the way it is?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Good.
Okay, thank you very much.
Appointments will be the same for 2021.
Yes. Number 3, the virtual 2021 AGM and conference. The email.
So it looks like the date would be August 15th to 18th. I mean, we recently did the Roma one and the virtual conference, and I think it worked out pretty well. It made it certainly quite easy to use. We had a bit of a hiccup when doing the delegations, but
Yeah.
important part. Important part.
We kind of got pushed about 4 hours back. But, yeah, all in all, it was pretty good. They had some very interesting topics, and I was kind of impressed with the way they did it, so. They took that from AMO last year, so if they continue on this year, it should be a pretty good conference.
But the other part of that is, I mean, I was able to go in after the fact.
Yes.
And at my own leisure or anybody on
Everything's
council.
recorded, so if you couldn't get there at that time, you can go in and look at it later.
Yeah, and I was viewing some of the stuff over the weekend, and it's pretty interesting. Some interesting stuff that we'll probably be talking about at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
So the delegations did get, we did complete
We
the
finally got
delegation.
through, yeah, they had what they called rooms. And there was a room for the minister and a room for the parliamentary assistant. And we went into the room for the minister, and we were in the wrong room. Virtually, right? So, I mean, there was a lot of their missteps, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So they said, we can get you in, but are you available, like 3 hours later? I said, yeah. So just make sure you put us in the right room.
Yeah.
It's a learning process, for sure. It's pretty interesting. But,
I think we'd have to, think about, delegate package again, for just, again, for just two people,
Yeah,
for Nathan and, whatever. I mean, we got till the end of April for the early bird.
Yep.
Yeah, so. What's everybody think on that?
I mean, we still gotta plead our case for this sewer thing, so. Till we get some other news.
Yeah, oh no, for sure.
Yeah, we're still banging the door on
Yeah,
that.
pretty much.
I think it's worth it.
And I'm sure if we get some help there, there will definitely be something else we need to lobby for.
Yeah, oh no, even,
And FCM,
even like Dan said, you go on there and that broadband was really, it was really interesting.
Yeah, in terms of lobbying, we're still trying to lobby everyone. Certainly, sending out emails, calling them, keeping this thing.
anybody who will listen. No.
So,
Okay, next up is the Aqua Financial Plan Draft. Ethan, you have,
well, the main thing here is, the main outcome, if you look into it, is that the pricing that we have for water is not keeping up with the amortization. And this was a similar thing also in 2013 when that asset management plan was done. It's then in that case, the taxes were not keeping up with the amortization of our capital assets. So it's a similar story here. And of course, you know, we're stuck in the situation where in order to be competitive, we want to keep our rates low, but at the same time, we have this major costs for the replacement of these assets, and eventually they do fail. I mean, what tends to fill the gap for us is government grants, and that's what we try to pursue in order to make that gap smaller. But that's essentially what the financial plan here is summarizing.
Yeah, so try to figure out the best approach. It's, you know, like year to year, year over year, or, I mean, do you want high rates and have everything perfect, or?
What are you talking about, high water rates?
Yeah,
Well, we don't want that.
no, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, in order to keep up, I mean, where does the money come from? It's either pursue the grants or you jack up your rates, so.
Well, I don't know how often we gotta look at this, like, if the water rates just went up, now we're talking, like, do we think we have to do it again?
Well, I don't think,
I don't know.
I don't think that we do, but,
Like, I mean, it depends on a lot of things, like how efficient is this or whatever, but if they keep throwing, Aqua keeps coming up with new gadgets and they say it's mandatory and it has to be put in the system, I mean, holy smokes.
Yeah, that is really the biggest challenge, is that dealing with water and wastewater, it's all of a sudden regulatory compliance. You need to get your infrastructure updated, and you know that's what leaves us in a difficult position, especially with these wastewater upgrades. But in terms of the assets that we currently have, we look at again the replacement cost to fix these assets, because again, nothing lasts forever. And what this is saying is just that the current pricing we're getting will never keep up with replacing those assets. What it means is if we were doing this sustainably, we would have to increase rates in order to put money into a reserve to eventually fund for the replacement of those wastewater assets. But it's a catch. It's unrealistic to raise things
But that,
Not high, I mean.
like having that, a backup plan financially, like, doesn't necessarily have to come from water rates. It could come from something else that we've made more efficient, and we're not spending money on, like, I don't know.
It's typically done, typically like the water and all is funded just through again, users, and that's just for practices out of fairness to have the fairest way to fund it there. But in terms of this plan was, again, created specifically for our drinking water license. Part of getting that license renewed, you need to have this plan. So that's why we have the plan today. And this was, again, just explaining it in case anyone had questions looking at it, you know, what conclusions the report ended up with, you know, that's the reasoning for those conclusions. We're in a tough spot, and as a small town, you want to stay competitive for businesses and residents to move in. Those things where you can leave it uncompliant or in disorder and, you know, wait. That's why we're in situations where something's broken. Right away we have to fix it. It's a compliance issue.
Yeah, when the government went to that system where the water and sewer is standalone, they gotta pay for itself and everything. It's pretty hard on a township, and then when the government then says you shall,
Yep.
what happened down at the sewer plant, and there's no programs out there, but you shall.
Yep.
And it's $1.5 million, like
Yep.
it's, they gotta play ball too.
Well, that's why there's a water tower now.
Right, like we brought this to the provincial and federal government, right? And sometimes the responses are, right, you can take loans, you can take OCIF funding. The main thing that we keep bringing back, though, is we understand that and we pursue that funding for stuff that we've taken on. You know, we built the water tower, so it's something that we put into our scope. But the moment it's regulation that says that you suddenly need a UV disinfection system, that's something we didn't anticipate, you know, and
So why should we have to take out a loan for it, right? And this is what the battle is, and we continue to talk to provincial and federal, because you told us we have to do it. Oh, okay, so how do we come up with $1.5 million?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
We're fighting the good fight. We're continuing to lobby, and hopefully it's going to turn out
Yep.
in our favor.
Yep.
Alrighty, next up is the site plan approval for
Right.
the lot and plan.
So the site plan here, the recommendation is that the council of the Township of Schreiber accept the application for site plan approval. This is for Plan M55 Lot 21 and Plan M55S Part Lot 22, Parcel 5308, described as 215 and 216 Worker Lake Drive. And the request is that the municipal planner proceed with drafting the site plan agreement. So once a resolution has been forwarded, the planner will start working on registering a site plan agreement on title.
Everybody in agreement with that? Any questions or?
In terms of like all sorts of requirements with zoning and everything, the planner has looked into that. I've reviewed that myself, and we wouldn't bring it to table if there were any issues. So you can rest assured that we've vetted everything.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay,
Yeah, no.
everybody's in favor for that then? Thank you. Last up is the purchase of floral boutiques for Wilkes Terrace. It was a recommendation by a counselor that we do something for our long-term care patients. on the Wilkes Terrace to celebrate Valentine's Day and let them know we're thinking of them. We've had a response from Terrace Bay as to splitting the costs.
Well, that's a good move.
Yes. I just have that one question on
It's just a couple of names.
do not support individual bouquets for individual residents. I don't understand that myself.
Right, so they're talking to put altogether 4 bouquets that will be put into general areas as opposed to individual rooms.
Right, right.
2 will go to the stations there and 2 will be in the common areas for the rooms.
So the original idea was to put flowers in every room?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
Good deal.
Well, I would say if they're willing to split the cost on supplying flowers in certain areas, I'm okay with that. I think it's a good idea.
Should be anywhere between $100 to $200.
The original plan was to just do something for the long-term care
Right.
residents.
Right.
And then we thought about it, and then Terrace Bay came back with this, so
Yeah.
we're not gonna get into splitting diamonds or anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody fine with that then?
Yeah.
Any long-term care residences?
There's 22, well, I shouldn't say that, there's 22 beds.
Could we not still send them something on our dime? And split the cost of the other stuff if we wanted, or not? We'll just go with this plan. I'm confused as to where the plan originated from.
Originally, we wanted to send a bouquet to every long-term care resident.
Why don't we just still do that?
And just
Well,
tell them that we're
you want-
thinking.
So then we would end up paying for all of that. Terrace Bay has
Just
a
the-
different idea here.
Well, you could still split the cost of these 4 things with Terrace Bay, but then
Right, but we'll
if that was your
continue on.
original plan, I don't know why you wouldn't
Terrace Bay
still
does not
do it.
support that, Dave.
Well,
Well,
they
then who
don't
cares?
have-
They don't pay for it.
They don't have to, I guess.
They can still pay half for this,
Well, definitely.
and then could we not,
And we'll continue
if that was
on.
your original plan, if that's what you wanna do, I think it's a great idea, and why not still do it?
I like, we talked about it, and they've gone, like everybody's gone through a lot, but they're the long-term care residents, and a lot of them have meant a lot to Schreiber, and actually a lot to the whole North Shore. And we just thought it would be a nice gesture, like a lot of them have been in lockdown, they haven't even seen their families, and just a great gesture from, for the town.
It's gonna be at, what, an extra $200, if that, or a little bit more,
Or
for
each
sending individually, on top
It's
of
about-
whatever it is.
it's about $50 to $80 for a bouquet.
Probably a minimum of 50, you're not gonna get much for.
For 50 is not gonna be much, eh? So I'd say around $80
Even if you went at 50, you're looking probably over $1,000 for.
would be, I mean, you do the math, right, 50 times 22. So it's much more significant than 4 bouquets, you're gonna get 22 bouquets.
Something you wanna do.
I'm still fine with it myself.
I was gonna say,
How many common rooms in the hospital? That's the entire hospital?
No, that's just the long-term care, right?
Yeah,
Long-term.
That's 4 bouquets versus 22 bouquets.
I'd say as a rough estimate, you're looking at 1,500 to 2,000. Of course, we'd have to get a quote. I don't know if we'll get better pricing. Another thing is also that's quite a lot to get on short notice for the date that we want. So we'd have to let them know as soon as possible tomorrow and see what they'd be realistically able to get for the date we want it on.
I'm good
still
with,
fine with it, you know,
Can we not send them all a card? And do the flower thing too? Like the flower thing with Terrace Bay, and send all the residents a card from the township of Schreiber, we're thinking of you, that kind of thing?
yeah,
Just because you're right, I doubt the flower shop has enough flowers at this time to even do that. But it's still something.
sure, okay, yeah. Good thought, Dave.
If you want us all in here to sign it before you send it off, we can all come in here by the end of the week or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever you want.
I'll, yeah. I can-
get somebody to fill out something nice on the card.
Yeah. I think that's a
I can
nice
even
idea.
deliver the card, just, I'm not gonna go through the mail, that won't work.
Well, I think you'd have to give them to somebody, because like, they'll still be, everything's still under lockdown.
Oh, yeah, and we can get them down there one way.
Yeah.
Logistics should definitely work for that.
Yeah, I think that's
Are you
easy.
fine with that then?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, good idea, Dave.
Get my class number if you want.
And,
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, then, I guess we're into, adjournment. I find those. There you go. Resolution number 28-21. Moved by Councillor Stefurek, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that the meeting now adjourn at 8:30 PM. All those in favor? Carried, thank you.